Hello, welcome to Boys Town. It's a beautiful, sunny, warm day in the village of Boys Town. And in the village this week, we are celebrating Donor Week. We are recognizing all of our special donors across the United States, many generational donors who have supported Boys Town over the years. And as part of this Donor Week, we're going to be doing special tours. And one of them, we're actually going to be coming into one of our Boys Town homes. Our Boys Town homes here on campus, we have around 50, are very private. It's for the care of our boys and girls. They're therapeutic homes, so we never really allow the public to enter our homes. But today we're going to do a special tour and get to go through a home. We're going to tour the Johnsons' home. And the Johnsons have been family teachers for a long time. And you know how we can tell that? We have all these little discs here, and these little discs mean certified family teachers. That's their names. And you can see they have black ones for 1 year, and we have gold and silver. So they have been here many years as family teachers, decades in fact. And we're very proud of them to be here as part of our program. And this program was begun by Father Hupp in 1979 because girls came to campus at that time and they decided they'd move the kids out of the dormitories and into family style living. So homes were built, and this actual home we're going to go into was built in the 1980s by Father Peter because he wanted to expand and have more homes on campus. So this is a beautiful home paid for by donors so our boys and girls have a nice place to stay. And the Johnson family have young men living with them. So we're going to go in right now and meet the Johnsons and one of their students, Joshua, and he's going to give us a tour of the house. And it's beautiful. You can see the lawn here and the gardens. This is all maintained by the boys and girls when they live here. And that's part of living at Boys Town. We teach the boys and girls what it's like to have a home, live in a house, and take care of the laundry and take care of the grounds. This is all part of the concept of teaching them going back out into the real world. And we're going to come up here to the front door here, and we'll ring the doorbell, and we'll get to begin our tour of this very special home. And this house, again, was built in the 1980s.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Hello, I'm Tom from the Hall of History.
Tom, come on in.
Thank you.
Welcome. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having us visit your home today.
Absolutely.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Eric Johnson. I'm a family teacher here. Been here for almost 15 years now.
15 years.
Yep. This is my wife, Candy.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
And this is Josh, one of our
Hello,
young men.
Josh. How are you? Nice to meet you. Thank you for having us visit your home today.
Absolutely.
What are we going to see today as we tour the home?
So we're going to show you a couple of our rooms and just basically explain what we do here and how we live on a day-to-day.
How long have you been here at Boys Town?
I've been here for a little over a year now.
Excellent. Perfect. And what grade are you in our school system?
I'm a senior.
Great. What are your plans when you graduate?
I plan to go to Bryan and become a nurse.
Excellent. Thank
He's
you.
off to a great start. He's got a 4.125 GPA.
Fantastic. Great.
Thank you.
Where should we start our tour?
We can start here in the living room.
Excellent.
So this is our living room. A lot of the times we'll watch a movie in here. We like to hang out in this space. There's times where we have to use good peer relations. Got the seats here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we'll have 5 of us try to pile up on one seat. Like, okay, guys, we gotta move. Kind of spread us out a little.
Mm-hmm.
And here, like, we watch TV. Have to like use those skills of like agreeing on a movie. Like sometimes we won't agree on something, and we'll just have to work through that and then choose a movie.
How many boys live in the house with you?
As of right now, we have 7. We have been up to 9 though. So.
And what are their ages?
So we have a middle schooler. I'm pretty sure he's 13. A freshman, 14. Do we have any sophomores?
Nope.
4 seniors.
And then you have 4 seniors, all of us being 17 or 18, and then 1 junior.
Wow, that sounds like a very busy house.
Oh yeah. Always doing something.
A lot of sports.
A lot of
We
sports,
encourage
excellent.
sports. The healthier they are, mind, body, spirit, all of it. We know, that this is what really contributes to their long-term success. So we encourage sports, and pretty much all of our guys are in sports right now, except for the middle schooler. He's looking forward to getting into sports, but he hasn't had the opportunity yet. He's pretty new.
Nice.
So he'll get there.
What's the one room of the house you all congregate in the most?
I'd say probably the basement is where we congregate the most.
Okay. How about your kitchen?
Oh, our kitchen.
Can we
Yes.
see your kitchen?
Yeah.
That would definitely be Thai. They like to eat.
So this is our dining room. We have an amazing cook here. Makes absolutely stunning meals. It's like every day she's cooking for a whole football team. So you notice we have a long table here. As mentioned, like up to 9 guys. Here we eat. Usually every night before we eat, we do pray together. Right now we have a Muslim kid, and we have the option of like you don't have to like join us because so we'll have a prayer and then we'll eat. And we also do something called a family meeting here. It's self-governing. So we have a manager, and I think we're the only, if not one of the few houses that also have a checker. So we'll vote every week, usually on a Sunday, who we want to be our manager and checker. And then sometimes we'll bring stuff up. Like last night we had a family meeting and we discussed things like, this is what we're going to do this weekend. So like, what are some outing ideas? What do we want to do? And then we'll all have a vote and we'll choose what we want to do.
Excellent. And who cleans up after you eat? Does everyone?
So we have a chore rotation, and so every week it changes out, and we'll have one guy who will clean up, and sometimes the manager will help out, and an achievement usually will help out if things are going slow, like especially on bigger meals. So
Explain what an achievement is.
So an achievement is at Boys Town the highest bridge or like standing that you have. So you're seen more by your FTs, and you have to show more leadership. You're not on card, and you're basically a role model for everybody else. Like everybody else comes in on daily, and they look at an achievement and they see like, oh, that's what I want to get to. But as an achievement, you have to show them like how you got there, and yeah.
So what are some expectations of an achievement?
So some expectations of being on achievement is following rules, of course, saying okay, but also integrity. With achievement, you're given a lot of like downtime. Like we can go to the field house every day, and nobody's really looking whenever you're out shooting hoops. So you want to be sure that you're doing the right thing at all times.
Achievement takes a while to get to. When young men come in at first, and young ladies, they're on what's called a daily system, where they are much more monitored, they are interacting with family teachers a lot, getting those basic skills down. And as they develop over time, they build more trust, they earn more privileges. Josh is on achievement. He's the only achievement young man in our house right now, but it took him a year to get there. And it took him some mistakes and corrections and accountability, and then understanding what he wants for his own future, which is to be a leader, to be somebody in the community. He was actually selected for Nebraska State, which as a family teacher, that was the first time I was a little freaked out, I'll be honest. He was down at state for a full week. We had no contact with him, and he did amazingly well, right? A lot of leadership, and that he earned achievement. So, yeah, that was great.
Congratulations. Excellent. What's the other part of your kitchen over here?
Come on in.
So over here, this is where all the cooking happens.
Who does all the cooking?
Candy is our maid.
Do you guys help her cook?
Yes. So usually Candy's doing so much at one time, she just can't do it all on her own. So you'll hear like a scream from the other room, and then you have to do your little jog in here. And then usually something that we help out with a lot is cutting vegetables. So use the island here. Candy will be doing something on the stove. One of us guys will be doing the vegetables. Sometimes we'll have K1 in here keeping up with the dishes so it doesn't get all piled up later. So,
What's your favorite meal to make?
my favorite meal to make?
Or to eat?
To eat, okay. To eat's a little bit easier. My favorite meal that Candy cooks is green chili enchiladas.
Wow.
That's probably what I eat. Like every time she cooks, like I usually don't go back for seconds, but whenever it comes to green chili enchiladas, I'm going back for thirds.
Excellent.
One of the things I want to bring up is that we can't do it on our own, and not even just with the boys. We have an assistant that works with us full time, and that's Aaron. And we also have a floater that works in our home and 2 others. His name is Daniel. I just want to shout them out because we were off a few days ago, and as I'm walking through the house, I'm like, man, it really smells good. I walk out, and Danny's out there on the smoker with a couple of boys teaching them how to grill and cook chicken. So they're learning as they go. He's going to be going through a program that we started a long time ago where he'll actually have to cook his own meals for about 2 months.
Good.
He'll have to shop for his own groceries. He'll have to budget. All of it, we're getting him prepared to be on his own once he graduates. And guys love it, and then they also don't like it because they're cooking their own food, and it's not her food. And it's not everything we have on the grill. They're learning their own meals. We set them up for success in a way that they can go out in the world and have a few meals that they can cook really well, some complex ones, and then some easy ones that are easy on the budget too.
And they learn to budget, so we kind of do a funny money budget, but for 2 months, and we break it down per week, just so you can have a better idea. But they will get paid for going to school, and then they have to sit down at the end of the week when they get their paycheck, and they pay rent, and they pay electricity, and they pay different utilities. And we have a wonderful field house, like Josh mentioned, that they get to go to. Well, that's a gym membership, and so they kind of see on paper like, this is what's going to happen in about 9 months, boys. And so, and then like you said, I will take them to the store. They have their shopping cart, and they have their budget that they've allowed, and they shop for their meals, and we work on comparison pricing and how you get the best bang for your buck, and
they buy vegetables.
Yeah, we have a balanced meal. But it's been really fun seeing how the different things they learn, the different things they thought I know how to make macaroni and cheese. It's easy until they forget to drain it, and it's macaroni and cheese soup.
Which has happened.
Which has happened. So it's really fun to help them through that and help teach them that stuff. So.
I see you have 2 refrigerators. How much food would you go through in a week feeding this many boys?
We go through quite a bit. Probably, I want to say about 15 pounds of meat. Like, that's being generous, or not even generous. That's in like Monday through Friday. And then weekends, we're usually, especially during the summer, we go to the lakes. We go to Fremont. We go to Louisville, and so we'll pack up lunch meat, and we'll pack up hamburgers and hot dogs, and we'll spend the day. So yeah, it's a lot though.
And this doesn't include the fridge freezer we have in the garage. That's another one.
Yeah.
Amazing. Very nice. Can we see your room? Is that okay? You see your bedroom?
So this is one of our bedrooms. This side is my housemates. In here, once again, one of those like unsupervised times. So you really got to be acting right. Don't be getting into little tassels with your roommate, because then that's just going to lead to being frivolous. In here, we're able to sit at our desk. I know the individual that sleeps in here loves to draw, so I would assume he's probably sitting at that desk a lot. But yeah, we all do our little hobbies in here. He's got his RC car. I have a guitar up in my room, so that's what I like to do. And then another thing is like time management. You gotta wake up in here, get ready for your school day and whatnot.
You have to make your bed every morning?
Every morning, gotta make your bed.
Can you leave clothes on the floor?
No clothes on the floor.
One of the things also that they utilize the desk for is that it's obviously a very structured environment. A lot of these young men and women come to us with maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 years of school missing. And so there's a lot of credit that needs to be caught up on. We teach them, consistency and their help with their own abilities. And we have it very structured at the table. So they have an hour of study time until they prove themselves. Once their grades are raised, then they maybe go down to a half an hour. And once you're on first honors, which is 3.75 and above, which obviously Josh is, they can actually do their homework in the room, maybe listening to some music, and if they're consistent, they can get it done. We want them to be prepared when they go home. If they don't graduate from Boys Town, once they go home, they need to continue to do their studies to be successful, right?
Excellent.
So that's what we like to do. We like to reward them for their hard work.
That's exactly the program Father Flank created over 100 years ago. He said you could not force a child behind bars to change behaviors. He did it through behavior modification.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what's going on today in our Boys Town homes. I see on the chair, it says Camp Okaboji.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you tell us what Camp Okaboji is? I bet a lot of people don't know what that is.
So Camp Okaboji is like a massive lake in Iowa, and we're very blessed to be able to go and enjoy time here. Just a couple weeks ago, me and my house went, and we get to do a bunch of stuff there. My favorite memory from Okaboji was tubing. So they'll pull us behind the boat. We had one kid like go so high in the air, he came down and he was done. We also do movie nights. We have something called canteen, which is like we get snacks, and pretty much it's just 3 days of like just fun. Just very packed,
Food,
structured.
water, sun. We
Yeah.
all leave
Fishing.
having gained 5 pounds. The food is delicious. Our camp staff, Julie, is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Shara is the camp director, and she does a great job of making sure that the kids have everything they need. So that we have 3 boats, they're pontoon boats, but pontoon boats and
Kayaks. And,
Kayaks.
all sorts of stuff.
for the tubes that they can just lay. There's a basketball court in the water, a volleyball court in the water. So even if you're like, I don't know if I want to go on a boat, there's so much that you can still do. So
Nice.
it's amazing.
So Tom, these moments are what fuels us as family teachers. The last time we went to Okaboji a couple of years ago, we had a young man who I was pulling around on a tube, and as he came up into the boat, he goes, "Can you believe this?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "3 days ago I was in a lockup. Today I'm tubing on a boat." I'm like, it doesn't get much better than this. And then on this trip, one of our housemates, the youngest one, he got onto the boat and he's, "This is my first time on a boat." I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "I've never been on a boat before." I was like, it kind of broke my heart at the point. I was like, no opportunity. I said, "Well, you're on one now. Let's go."
Nice.
You know, and he was thrilled to be able to do that. And it was his first time tubing too. He was a little nervous, a little scared, but he did great.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was fun.
Very nice.
What do they learn at Okaboji?
Oh, you know, the funny thing is the cooperation. They do that here in the home. They do that at school. They do that at sports. But Okaboji is a different experience where there's a lot more freedom. And they have to learn to compromise because not everybody can go on the boat every time. They can't all fit on the fishing boat every time. And so with a group of kids that they maybe haven't met before, there's a few of them that are brand new, they have to compromise and all get along. And it's hot and it's sweaty and there's a basketball court. And so they're playing against people they never played against, bumping into each other, and they temper their behaviors really, really well. They know what they're supposed to do, and the training that they get here helps them in those scenarios where they're going to meet new people. And so doing that in a hot environment where it's not always, air conditioned because we're outside in the sun, they did really well.
I
It's not
think
easy.
the other thing they learn is just to have fun and be kids.
Yeah.
You have some kids that come here and they've had some tough experiences, and they've not always had the opportunity just to be a kid, just to float in the water and just to have fun. And so that's an amazing thing that Okaboji does for them. And then the other thing I saw just this past session when we went was a young man overcome fear. Like he kind of knew he could doggy paddle, but in order to be safe, they do have to pass a swim test, and in order to not have to wear a life vest all the time. And he was like, it's nerve-wracking. And so, but I'm gonna try. And he kind of looked like a little duck. He's doing his thing, and he got about 3 feet from the end, and everybody's cheering him on. But he grabbed the edge, and he's like, no. He went back, and he kind of sat there, and everybody's talking to him, pumping him up. And Eric said, "Try it again. I'm gonna swim beside you. I'm not gonna touch you because you got to do it on your own, but I'm gonna be there beside you." And so he did. He got out there and his little things. Eric's like, "Extend. Come on, extend your arms. Lengthen out a little bit." And he did. He made it. He was so excited. And then because of that, he got to tube for the first time, which was an experience he had never had before either. So they get to help him overcome fears. It's amazing.
It's fantastic. At the camp, there's a very unique camp. This weekend, actually, we're doing a fundraiser there called the Blue Water Bash.
Right.
And it's to raise money to keep the camp open so our boys and girls can go there every summer.
Yeah.
And we
That's awesome.
appreciate the donors because it is an amazing experience that a lot of these kids would never have
Definitely.
Yeah.
Many of our older alumni talk about Camp Okaboji and
bet.
some of their special memories because the kids have been going there since the 1950s.
Yeah.
It's really unique.
Yeah.
Can we see your lower level in your playroom down there?
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't want to miss out our beautiful quilts that the Mothers Guilds have given us. They've given the boys for different.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
they're
they're-
beautiful.
The Mother Guild here on campus creates quilts for the boys and girls and presents them to them. And the boys and girls get to keep them and have them in their homes here on campus. We're going down into the lower level now of the house. Hopefully our Wi-Fi will stay with us, so we may have to go upstairs if we lose connection here. But this is the spot where the boys really hang out. We can see their play areas.
So this is our basement. You saw our ball corner where every ball imaginable is there. But this is our basement. This is really just a fun time where they get to relax. Josh, what is your favorite thing to do down here?
My favorite thing to do is sit right there in that red beanbag chair and play some sports games with my housemates.
Do you watch movies down here?
Yes, we do watch movies. Right there, we have a projector. We set that up a couple months ago, and we're in the process of getting like some wheels on this table, so we can just slide the TV out of the way, and then we'll project the movie, and it's like a big old movie theater. We'll have some snacks, and yeah.
Good time.
We have Legos.
Oh yes, so we have our display of Legos down here. We usually don't like play with these, mostly because a lot of them are built by our FTs and AFTs. We do have an AFT that is very into Legos, so I'd say probably 75% of the stuff on here is his.
Yeah. Or my daughters.
Yep, or as well.
This is our Legos, right? This is what we build.
They do get to make.
Yeah, it all started with one youth. His sister gave him a Lego set for his birthday. And honestly, we had to teach to his reaction. He's like, "Oh, great, thank you." Wasn't really appreciative. Yeah, he's 16. I said, "That's Legos." And I'll tell you what, when he opened the package, his eyes lit up. Once he saw it, it was a sports car. And guys just gathered around him as he started to build, and they all were talking about it, and then it caught fire. And then they all wanted Legos for Christmas or birthday. And so a lot of the little cars here and there are from the boys and their builds. And yeah, and so then we have just general Legos from that I had as a kid. Some of those are when I was a kid. Some of those were my kids were kids. And so we just put all those together, and they can pour them onto this table and build whatever they want.
Nice.
We've actually had families come for family visits. And what we'll do is we'll kind of block off the basement for them. They can come down here and visit. One of our boys had his aunt or his grandmother's birthday. That happened to be that weekend that they were visiting. So the whole family came around here, and there were some little kids. Poured all the Legos out. We're just sitting there building for hours while the other ones were playing pool and everything else. So it gives us a good space for not only our boys, but for when the families come to visit, they have some privacy and they can be down here.
Perfect.
And then we have a little workout area that we're building. We've got excess bikes.
Yeah, excess bikes
that
right
we're
now.
working on and that they've been working on, but yeah, it's just a fun area.
You got a beautiful view here, and that's for the people watching today. This home is one of the special homes that sits on our Boys Town Lake. So the boys can look out and see our lake out there, and you can see the trail, and the boys can go out on the trail
Oh,
and
they go
hike
fishing.
and run and fish.
Yeah.
So it's all part of the experience of living here in the village of Boys Town.
Yeah, this is we have a storage area there, which is locked up right now, but in that storage area, it's very, very big. I took this wall right here on the other side, and all the fishing poles are hung up, all the fishing gear is there, so when we want to go fishing, we just go in there, grab the stuff we want, and we can head right down. And it's just wonderful because it's quick and we don't have to drive anywhere for it, and then go fish for half an hour, and then come back and eat dinner and go fishing again.
Have some of the boys never fished before?
Oh, yeah, our assistant.
Our assistant hadn't fished before, and so getting them to the point where they're catching a fish, seeing it, can I touch it, can I not touch it, should I touch it? Getting them to the point where they can take it off the hook themselves. And it was funny because one of our younger guys said, "I'm going to be able to teach my kids this." I was like, "Let's wait 20 years before you talk about it. You got a little time before that." But yeah, he was so excited just to learn something new.
And then they gotta kiss their first fish.
This is a tradition. We don't force them, but they seem to go all in.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And you talk about the lake, Josh, this Saturday, the cross-country team does a race. I think it's against versus Miller, maybe?
Miller North, and then just a bunch of people.
Whoever else wants to. So yeah, so we have a beautiful path around it, and I will be cheering him on. It'll be fun.
Nice.
Now, you mentioned your daughter. Explain what it's like to have children of your own and become a family teacher at Boys Town.
Well, that was a long time ago when she was young. When we first got here in 2001, we had Matthew and Isabel. Isabel was 18 months old. And so she was raised here with our first time here. We were here for about 12 years. So she had 68 brothers. And so she's tough. Now she's an assistant here. And she works here, and she works with girls, which I can't imagine. I mean, God bless them, but the guys are our realm, and we work with teenage boys. But she loves it. She loves it, and she knew that this is kind of what she wanted to do. At first, she branched out and did other things. Then she worked at the credit union here for a little while, and then she's like, you know what? I want to be an assistant, because she knew what our assistant did when she was little, and we had the same assistant for almost 10 years, which is really rare. Stu, shout out to him. And she just said, you know what, this is what I want to do. So she became an assistant, and now she's a senior assistant. So it's pretty exciting.
Very nice.
There's a lot of, I think there are a lot of natural family teachers or bio family teachers, children that at some point or some way end up working for Boys Town. One of the lifeguards at Okaboji right now is
Two of
bio.
them.
Oh yeah,
Two
two
of
of them
them, yeah.
are bio children, and his goal is to be an assistant family teacher.
So one of the things that is important is that if you want to become a family teacher and you have natural children, you understand that this is one big family. And so, and the boys understand that. One of the best things for our boys when we had the little ones was they understood, you know, we're going to go to movies, and this time it's not going to be a PG-13 one. We're going to do a PG one because the last couple have been for you guys, and the little kids didn't go to that. They did something else. Now we're all going to go watch a family movie together, and they're like, yeah. And then most of those they like anyway, or Disney or whatever. So that was fun. And when you incorporate your kids into the overall environment, it's just one big family, and that's what it looks like at the end of the day.
Where do you live in the house? Do you have special rooms here?
Yeah, so we have our own private apartment that's upstairs, and we have 3 bedrooms and a small living area and a bathroom that gives us our own personal space. Not that we're in it very much.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if we're off, I still come and cook dinner because I gotta eat anyway, right?
And sometimes we'll have visitors ask us, what do the family teachers do besides being family teachers? This is your full-time job.
There's nothing
We were
else.
off this weekend and we were at his baseball game because they just won.
Oh yeah, they won the championship.
Excellent.
For the first time ever.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Where's your ring?
It's in my room.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I got a big, huge championship ring from the whole team did. It's great.
Or we do. I mean, we take our downtime. We'll go to the movies. We'll have our own date nights. But this is our home. This is our voice.
It's a lifestyle, isn't it?
It is,
It's not so much a
absolutely.
job.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you cannot look at it as a job because, no, there's so many hours involved in everything that we do. If you look at it as a job, it's going to be very daunting, very difficult. If this is your life, this is just your life. You just happen to have, 10 kids a lot of times, especially the natural kids. At one time we had 10 Boys Town youth and our own too, so we had 12 kids.
Wow.
You just pack the van and go.
And birthdays, you guys celebrate birthdays?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They get to pick their favorite meal, whatever meal they want. They give me a wish list of what they would like for their birthday, and if they don't, they get a pink tutu. Right?
Yep.
And then we always have piñata, unless it's like storming outside.
Yeah.
And
But-
we always find out a way.
We find a way.
in the house.
Yeah, we do.
And is Christmas a busy time in the house?
Oh yeah. Yeah, always. Again, you look at the experiences a lot of these kids come from. A lot of them have not had Christmas, or when they had Christmas, it was almost painful because of some memories or things that have happened in their life. And so we try to. You can't replace memories that are painful. So what we try to do is do things very, very big as we can, to help give them new memories, right? To take home to their kids. Some of them have traditions, and we always ask for Thanksgiving and Christmas, what traditions do you have? What do you want to see at your house? What do you want to see here? They'll call their grandma, they'll call their mom, especially if they're not local, get a recipe and see if we can make it and see what they can do. So we try to incorporate as much of their life into our life as we can to give them something special. And then the gifts, there's obviously the donors have done an amazing job to provide gifts for our kids. She does almost all the shopping because it drives me bananas. And so she does the shopping for the guys. They have their wish list, and just to see them come down and say, "What are all these gifts?" You know, well, there's a lot of you in the house, and you spread them all out. They're just like, "I've never had this before." It's like, well, you have this now, and this is what we want for you.
This Christmas will definitely be our smallest tree, but it'll still be a big one. That's one of the things that the house that we were in before, because like I said, we moved to this house in
February.
But the house we had before, the living room was a 2-story open space. And so our Christmas tree last year was 22 feet.
Wow.
So the boys were like, and every year we get boys called back, is our tree still the biggest? Is our tree still the biggest? Yes, no, yes, no. It's the whitest, it was the ugliest, but you know, they all put their, usually there's like a strip about 2 feet towards the middle top where we couldn't quite get all of the lights up there, so, but they always looked,
They're always proud.
yeah, boys loved it. So it'll be a much smaller than normal, but it'll still be a huge tree.
Beautiful Christmas memories. That's
Yeah.
so important for our boys and girls.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Before we wrap up today, there's 2 special people that live in the house, or persons with you, kind of persons.
Yeah.
Can we see those before we go upstairs?
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go get it.
Candy, what's for dinner tonight?
It is chicken and broccoli Alfredo. So,
That sounds good.
and we always have salad and cheddar. One of the boys like, can we have the cheddar biscuits, cheddar cheese biscuits? And I'm like, yeah, but we have Alfredo. That's kind of a lot of cheese. No, there's no such thing as too much cheese. I'm like, okay. But yes, our tree will be there. And it will be.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Who are these young
This?
people living with you?
Maya. Come on, Maya.
This one's mine right here.
Tell us about your tiny dogs.
They fit anywhere.
So I will, one of the things that has been so fun to see is,
Girl.
sometimes when you've gone through different experiences, you have a little bit of anxiety or you get it's easy to get anxiety. And we've got one young man who's working through that, and Bella particularly is his support person. If he's feeling anxious for something, if she's back in our apartment for whatever reason, sometimes she likes to go take a nap or whatever, he'll just, can you bring Bella out? And literally, he will lay on the floor with her and just that. I mean, she's a seatbelt. He'll sit on the couch, she will literally just cross his lap and he'll hug her and he'll pet her, and it's great. It's great to see their interactions. And they take care of them, and we'll go for walks with them, and they'll always, they try to decide which one will pull, and I'm like, I want her going up a hill, because she'll help me. But yeah.
In Boys Town houses can have a couple pets.
Yeah,
It's
you can
usually
have 2
a dog.
pets, a dog. Some people have cats. Hi, big girl. Yeah. But they are part of the family, and the boys do a great job of playing with them. And when she gets the zoomies, I just hug a wall, like because then boom, boom, and and the boys are taking off with them. So.
And I want to be clear. We're talking about this earlier, but I want to be clear. These are not therapy dogs.
No.
They're just our dogs, but they're so therapeutic. And we know that petting a dog can lower blood pressure and all that, but we've had boys that have been just really struggling, not just with anxiety, but anger issues. And there's a lot of history. There's a lot of trauma there.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in, and some of them act tough. I don't know about dogs. Dogs are fine. And then they'll be on the couch. And this one sits like, they say, she's sitting like a people. She'll just sit on the couch as though she's supposed to be there, and then lean into somebody. And no matter how tough they are, they start petting her, and then all of a sudden they're happy again. And it's amazing to see the transformation. So we love having them. I don't like cleaning up after him. She's a horse. But other than that, it's amazing having him here.
This is very much like a normal family home.
Absolutely.
You could imagine across America.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I want to thank you for allowing us to come and be with you today.
and say a special thank you to our donors across America. You make this possible for our children to come here and begin new lives and live with this great family teaching couple. And there's 50 more of those couples here on our grounds that are doing the same work every day, carrying on the mission of Father Flanagan. So thank you very much for being a donor to Boys Town. Thank you to Josh for letting us come and visit with you today, and the Johnson family for being with us. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you soon in the village of Boys Town, because you're always welcome to come and visit us. And if you want to support Father Flanagan's ministry, please go to boystown.org, and you can learn how you can become a supporter and help our boys and girls live with us here in the village of Boys Town. Thank you very much for joining